You're my salvage, you're my balance. Ooh, you're so new.
Hi guys, it's Liv. It's a new year, which means new video ideas. I've spent the last few days rearranging my room, kind of getting rid of things I don't need, and making space for the things I do want to keep in my life for 2018. I just think that letting go of old things to make space for new things is a great way to start the new year. Maybe you can let go of things that are holding you back, that don't hold as much value to you anymore as they used to. So before I pretend that any of these ways to clean out things and make space for new things are mine, I actually watched a lot of videos on the KonMari, I don't know how to say it, but that method of cleaning and reorganizing, which is just a certain way to fold your clothes and get better at letting things go in general. So I've spent a lot of time these past few days, like literally just straight, like done nothing else except clean my room and reorganize and get rid of things I don't need. And so this video is kind of going to walk you guys through how I did it, so that maybe if you are struggling with the same thing, you have a lot of clutter you need to get rid of, you can take the steps that I did to maybe make the process a bit easier on yourself. This is a video on how to reset your space for 2018 to allow the best creativity flow and the best balance and peace within your own space, whether it's your bedroom or any room in your house. So if that's something that you want to learn, then just keep watching. So the first thing that I did to sort of clean my space out was I started with my clothes. I took everything off the hangers and I divided it into piles of things I wanted to keep for sure, things I didn't want to keep, and things I might want to keep, which I would come back to at the end of my sort of reorganization. The things that I didn't want to keep, I divided into two sub-piles of things that I would give away and things that I would sell. So one of the methods of releasing old clothes you don't wear anymore that I found really helpful from this book is to literally talk to it, which is sort of weird, but you have to just say, thank you for serving your purpose and for making me feel beautiful and for giving me joy through all these years that I've worn you, but I'm letting you go so you can make someone else as happy as you made me. And for me, I'm very sentimental, so that actually helped me a lot. As ridiculous as it sounds and as crazy as you're gonna feel talking to your own clothing in your bedroom, it's so helpful. Step number 2 is to reevaluate all your sentimental belongings, which was probably the hardest step for me. I still have 2 bins of stuffed animals under my bed that I haven't even gone through. I'm not giving any of them away because they're just so sentimental to me and they all have a different story and different memories with them. And I just don't know if anyone else is going to take as good care of them as I do, so I need to keep them to make sure they're safe, obviously. Sentimental things, for me personally, I had a lot of notes from school, a lot of like handwritten notes also from my friends, and a lot of birthday cards and Christmas cards, which were really hard to go through and to throw away, especially the ones from maybe my grandparents who had passed away, or from friends in middle school who I don't really talk to anymore. It just held a lot of memories. So for me to give this away, I would suggest sitting down and going through everything and seeing if it still sparks joy for you, because some of those cards did really still make me happy, and they were from people that I still talk to and I'm really close with, and they were obviously very heartfelt and had a lot of feeling put into them. So I decided to keep those ones because I think that it's okay to keep little sentimental things, but not giant masses of things that you don't really feel an attachment to anymore. So I ended up keeping some of my notebooks and my cards, but I also threw a lot of it away. I ended up with like a whole garbage bag full of trash after I was done going through my sentimental things. I found a box of love notes from my last boyfriend that we broke up like 2 years ago, and I thought I'd thrown them out, but I hadn't, and cried a little bit, but it's okay. And so I ended up throwing all of those away too. It can be so therapeutic to throw away parts of your past that you've been holding on to for so long, which is why I actually was worried about going through my sentimental things, but once I began to go through them and to throw things out, it became so easy. I could just look at something and be like, no, I don't need this anymore. If you're still having a hard time going through everything and throwing things out and not knowing what you need, you can try to put a limit on yourself. So for me, I had 2 small boxes, and I said, these are my sentimental boxes, this is what I'm keeping. If it doesn't fit in the box, then something's gotta go. It can really help you to prioritize what you really want to keep, what really makes you happy. If maybe 2 small boxes isn't enough for you, you can take 1 box, like a larger box, and try to fill that. So after sentimental things, I did something else that's kind of sentimental to me, which is my book collection. I had so many books just stacked and stacked and stacked in my closet that I wasn't reading. A lot of them were like middle school books that like novels that I got through middle school and just kept for some reason. For me, I feel like keeping books is like, it's kind of like having an award, like it's something to be proud of. Like, I read this book, so I put it on the shelf, then I never read it again. And I think that books were designed to keep people happy, and there are people that could get more use and be happier with them than I could at this point in my life. So I ended up giving a lot of those little trophies or awards away. I'll probably give them to like a library or something and just donate them that way, or just send them to the thrift store as well. The books I decided to keep were books that have really impacted me, like whether it's religious books or like how-to books or kind of bettering yourself books. I kept those in case I need them, and I also kept recently bought poetry books because I just love poetry, and also I've written in all my poetry books, so there's not really a point in giving those away. I went through my jewelry and accessories as well because I had an abundance of them that I just didn't need at all. A lot of them I got when I was younger, in like my pre-teens, and my style was just a lot different back then. So there were pieces that I wasn't really wearing much anymore. My styles kind of changed. I used to be into the bigger, the bolder statement pieces, the really unique, like, wow, I've never seen that before, pieces that are just attention grabbers. But now I'm more drawn towards the dainty little gold chains or pearls or things like that that can really just sophisticate my look, I guess. And so all those bigger, chunkier costume kind of pieces of jewelry I gave away. I donated so that maybe someone else could get joy out of being the center of attention. This is another thing where I would say to really limit yourself if you have a lot of them. For me, I had one of those big, long display kind of pieces. It's like a jewelry display, like it's got pockets. And I had both sides of it filled, which meant I had so much jewelry, and I really limited myself to only fill one side. I was really proud of myself. I got through that goal, and I did only fill one side. And I find that now I only have pieces that I'm definitely going to wear, or I'm more likely to wear them because they're going to be right there in my face and not hidden behind other pieces that I knew that I was never going to get any use out of. The next thing I did was empty out my bags. I have 4 bags that I went through. And I just kind of emptied everything out, took all the clutter out, threw away the old candy and things that I wasn't really going to use anymore, and then I organized everything I needed to put into them. They all have different purposes, and I just put them nicely in the room. I went through my shoes next, which is something that I haven't done in a very, very long time, which I know because I had shoes in my shoe bin from literally grade 7 that I wasn't wearing anymore, so it was time to give them away. I'm actually saving up to get a lot of new shoes because my style's always just changing and evolving, and I don't want to be wearing the same shoes that I had in middle school, especially if they're losing their shape or they're way too dirty or just beat up in general. Shoes are a good thing to donate, but if they're really, really bad, if the grip and the tread is gone on the bottom, or they have holes or anything, just throw them out because that's gross. Or if they really look really, really beat up like mine did, then just throw them away, because I did end up throwing a lot of mine away. So after I had gotten rid of a lot of my stuff that I wasn't using, I got to reorganize, which is the part that took me the longest to do. It took me 3 days to reorganize all my room. I just find that reorganizing helps me to feel like it's a fresh start. Things are in new places, things are folded. A tip that I would give you if you're reorganizing is to maybe take things that were hung up last year and try to fold them this year, and vice versa, because it just adds a new flow to the room. I would also suggest, if you have little things that you're storing, you can maximize your storage space by using boxes or bins. I have a bunch of bins set up under my bed right now, and I've got some in the top of my closet as well, some little boxes. It's the easiest way to store things, and it looks pretty decent as well. The next step is to clean off all your surfaces once maybe everything's off your dresser or your frames are there. I guess you don't really have to take anything off a frame, but you can dust it down with a wet washcloth. That works just fine. I did the top of my dresser. I did this frame. You can't see it, but there's a frame up there, and there's a frame over there that I did as well. And I would also suggest dusting off your windows, because windowsills get really disgusting and dirty, and you can also clean your windows if you want. Just give them a nice shine to match your new clean room. And my memory card got full, so hopefully it still looks okay. But as I was saying, you can clean your surfaces. I would suggest making your bed. It also will help you be more productive, which I'll talk about in a video later on. But making your bed just adds a nice finished touch to the room, as well as vacuuming and just having a nice floor, especially if you have carpet and it just all goes one way. Oh, that looks so good. My second last piece of advice is to scent your room. It also adds just a nice finished touch. This is totally optional, especially if you have an allergy to like perfumes or scents or anything. But I would suggest going just to like Bath and Body Works or the Body Shop, or even like Winners or Walmart or anything, and just getting like a room spray. It can be cheap, it can be really fancy, and just choose a scent that you like and spray it up towards your ceiling and just let it fall, because it'll definitely make your room smell super sweet and super fresh. Or you can get one of those little Febreze or Glade outlet plug-in things that I've never used those, but I heard that they work really well, and you can just choose maybe a nice fresh scent and plug it in and just let it do its thing. Personally, I like to use lavender buds. I put them in little bags, and then I just put them places in my bedroom just to make it smell fresh. So I put one in my closet, I also put one in my car and one in my locker at school, just to make sure that I'm always smelling nice and like lavender, and it's really calming to me. And finally, once you're done the strenuous process of resetting your space, I'd advise you to just appreciate it, just breathe, just take a minute and just let it sink in that you've really reset your space and you have a place to be creative and think and just live your life. So if you guys like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. I enjoyed talking you guys through how to kind of reset and declutter your room, and I hope that 2018 is as wonderful as it can be for you guys. I hope this is the first step to giving yourself the best year that you possibly can. So thank you for watching. I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye!